Hello and welcome to BQ Prime. A very good morning to all the viewers. I am Hiral Dadia. A very steady day of trade is what we are witnessing. We opened the session at levels of around 19,433 and now we're trading around 10 points higher to that as well. So clearly an up move of around 0.5% coming in there. The advance decline ratio is also pretty much in favor of the advances. So that positivity that was anticipated in today's session has continued. However, it's a positive consolidation that we continue to see, and the range continues to remain absolutely narrow. Let's quickly dive in terms of stocks which are newsmakers of the day and understand what one should do with them. We have Vivek Karwa, Chief Executive Officer at Vridhi Investment, joining in. Vivek, good morning and welcome to the show.
Good morning, Hiral.
Vivek, let's start with a Zomato. How are you looking at it? Because clearly, from from a stock perspective, the stock did jump almost 5% in early trade. You have some block deals that have happened over there. We're talking about a delivery fee in that range of 2 to 3 rupees in certain regions. And recently, one of the competitors, which is Zepto, just became a unicorn in the last round of funding. As compared to which, if you see Zomato's business from a Blinkit perspective, which is the like-to-like one, that is still undervalued. How are you looking at a Zomato, and what would you advise investors to do?
Hiral, what we did, in fact, I did in my personal portfolio was when Zomato hit 47, 48, that time I entered the stock and around 100 rupees I came out of it. Why? Because, of course, everything looks good in Zomato right now, but the stake sale, some of the key investors getting out of the stock is first worry. And after this run up, definitely the stock looks a bit stretched. Now, the future, say short term, it might be stretched, it might remain in one range. That is the possibility. But what I feel is over a period of time, if you look at next 2 years, 3 years, the moment the company starts showing profit, in fact, their trajectory is on the way to profitability. So when that happens, the stock can really get re-rated from here. And the cash portion which is available in Zomato, if I'm not wrong, it is approximately 8,000 crores or something. So that is a huge cash the company has, and hence they can now start charging, kill competition. Various strategies will keep coming out. So I am quite bullish on Zomato even at this rates, but with the medium term to longer term horizon. Short term, it looks a bit stretched because of the run up because it is almost doubled. But yes, if somebody wants to hold for a little longer, please surely hold it on.
Right. So that's with regards to Zomato. Moving on, you have a Gokaldas Exports, which has been in focus as well. And this is on one of the acquisitions that they have announced yesterday. The stock was locked in upper circuit in yesterday's session. Today as well, if you go to see in terms of the stock, we are seeing, a strong move, and it's a compelling strategic acquisition. That's what people are looking at. What do you make out of this, and what would you advise investors to do?
Uh, See, overall, I have been bullish on textiles as such, and I feel going forward also textiles would do well. But when coming to specifically Gokaldas, the acquisition they have done is going to really favor them in longer term, maybe next 3 or 4 quarters. But the acquisition, the benefits which are going to come after 3 quarters to 4 quarters have been factored in the price yesterday itself. So yesterday it was locked upper circuit, and today morning it was approximately 8-9% up. That is when I saw the price, and now I see it is hardly around 5% up. So there is some kind of profit booking. So what I feel is the run up again, almost 30% run up in 2 days, is quite compelling trigger to book some profits and take home. Let it correct a bit. If it comes down at that point of time, you can again re-enter. It's a good company overall, but again, as I said, 30% in 2 days is quite massive run up. So the benefits which is going to come, market knows about it. So there will be some profit booking. But overall, if you look at say 2 to 3 years perspective, textiles overall I'm bullish, and I think Gokex also will do well from here.
Right. So that's Gokaldas Exports. Moving on, Jio Financial Services. The key is that it's now locked in upper circuit. It's moved out of the lower circuit band. Uh, tomorrow is the day when it will delist from the Sensex and other exchange, other indices. Vivek, how are you looking at a Jio Financial Services number one? And for the benefit of our viewers, what happens from tomorrow?
See, the issue till now was that most of these passive funds, index funds, had to sell Geo Financial, and that's the reason it came till 202 rupees on the lower side. Now, uh, if some passive funds have to sell, and if it is going to be out of the indexes tomorrow, what is going to happen is it's very easy for them to sell today when it is in upper circuit. So I think that is not going to be an issue. There are enough number of buyers in the upper circuit level. This is what my screen shows, and hence people the funds can easily sell and come out. So that is one thing. So I don't think there is going to be any issue on that front. So that's a non-issue right now. Now coming to Geo Finance, first of all, I should give a disclosure that last from 202 to 220, I have bought. We have recommended to all our clients. I bought it in my personal portfolio also. So as a disclosure, I am holding Geo Financial as of today. What I feel is short term, possibly the fair value of around 265.70 it might see immediately. That is one possibility, because it is going to move only 5% every day. It might take 3-4 days, but yes, 270 will be a possibility. And the best part on it and the positive is that the promoter group also is buying. So the Ambani family is indirectly raising stake and buying the stock from the market. So that shows that there is some valuation going to be. Longer term, yes, they have announced some business plans, but how will that materialize? That we have to wait and watch. But yes, shorter term, I think 270 is quite a good possibility.
Right. Moving on, Vivek, India is likely to impose anti-dumping duty on toughened glass from China. And this is the glass that is used for home appliances. How do you look at this from company-specific action, specifically names like Holden Glass or Asahi, or even for the likes of, say, Saint Gobain? These are a few of the names, but I'm sure there are many more. How would you look at it from the company's perspective?
In fact, there is Borosil also, which is quite a popular company in glass. Now, see, I feel particularly when you talk about Haldean Glass, it is undervalued even now. It's almost a debt-free company. There is very, very small debt on the books. The only issue in this is that the company is a micro cap, just 560 crores worth company, and hence the volatility also can be higher. But this anti-dump government is very, very say careful nowadays. Wherever there are prices moving up, for example, sugar. Yesterday we saw about rice. Now glass. So every sector where there is some issue cropping up due to China factor, they are trying to address it, and hence overall glass should do well. That is one thing. And be it automotive glass or be it our home appliances, kind of Halden glass kind of companies, I think everything should do well. And Halden glass today, the results have been last 5-6 quarters. The results have been positive. First thing. Second thing, as I said, the debt level is negligible, and hence the stock looks undervalued. I feel from 104 now, 103 now, it can easily touch 120 also.
Right. Moving on, Vivek, you have a Maruti Suzuki. After their AGM, they said that they will be spending almost $5.4 billion to double car output by 2031. And that will actually increase its production capacity to 4 million vehicles. What do you make out of this, and how would you look at a Maruti? Good levels to buy?
Um, Definitely, I think it's a long-term bet. See, Maruti is a stock wherein you find that it is not able to cross the 10,000 psychological level mark, and it stays below that. It tests 10,000 and comes back again and again. But what I feel is the company has been slowly moving towards EV. Other companies have been rushing, but Maruti, I should say, is it a sign of maturity or they are slow? I cannot comment on that, but yes, they are looking at the market, how it is developing, and then they would come into the EV space as well. So I feel longer term, yes, Maruti still commands a good market share, and if somebody is buying here, the downside could be limited. The upside could be slow and steady. It is not going to rush up immediately. It's not a small company. 3 lakh crore market cap is not going to double immediately. But yes, as and when they keep announcing more vehicles, and they're also trying to enter SUV segment, few of the cars have already been released. I think stock should do well. So downside is limited. Upside, I'll not be able to comment because it is going to move only slowly.
Right. ONGC also had their AGM, and they've said that they will be investing 2 lakh crores in energy transition projects. Moving on, a couple of other announcements also that they have made. What do you make of an ONGC taking into consideration even the way crude has been moving today, or an overnight trade, we were about the $85 per barrel?
See, if you look at pure fundamentals of ONGC, it should not trade below 300, and that's the fact. And it's not today's fact; it's last many years that it has always traded below its fair value, I should say. The problem is we this company is particularly a PSU company, and hence the real worth of it or the value of the stock is not shown on the screens, and I don't think it is going to show as well. And elections coming up in next 6 months, we will be in full election fever. So, and we saw yesterday LPG gas prices getting cut. So this oil and gas and OMCs, I would be little skeptical to touch for next until at least May end, when the election results would be out. So I would actually stay out, though the valuation of the stock is good. And if they're investing 2 lakh crores, I think again generating returns on that capital also would take time. So it is going to always have pressure on the stock. So though a good company, everything looks good in the company, I would stay out.
Right. So that's with regards to where ONGC goes. But moving on, metal counters have been in focus as well. In fact, good traction since yesterday and today on the back of a couple of commentary with regards to China. How are you looking at a Hindalco as well as a Tata Steel?
See, Hindalco and Tata Steel, I think Hindalco is also looking at say investing in other sectors. Okay, that's going to be small, I think. But what is happening is, due to this China factor, the aluminium prices, the steel prices, and other metals. So metal space is stuck in a range. Tata Steel is on trajectory of becoming debt free. So that company also looks good to me. Hindalco looks good to me. But I don't think the movement is going to be quick and fast over here, particularly because of China factor. So until China really say announces more stimulus packages, pushes in liquidity into the economy, and there is some metal pickup, the stocks might actually not move. So I would stay away from metal as of now. The domestic consumption, we cannot rely only on the domestic consumption. So overall, both the stocks are good. On dips, yes, they will be a buy because, as I said, Tata Steel is wanting to become debt free, and it will become. And Hindalco also is undervalued, but on dips, they would look more interesting.
Right. So that's with regards to metal space as a whole. Thank you, Vivek, so much for joining us on the show and sharing the views. So clearly, a lot of stock-specific action is what we continue to see in terms of where markets are concerned. The breadth continues to favor the bulls as well. If you see in terms of the Sensex, a little over 350 points is the kind of upside that we have been seeing, 0.6% higher. Uflex, Spark, as well as both these counters are up little over 10%, in that range of 10 to 13%. Jindal Poly is up around 7 to 8%. Coffee Day is up in trade today as well. So a lot of positive momentum stocks is what we are witnessing in terms of where markets are concerned. That's all that we have on this session. Thanks for watching, and lots more lined up on the other side. Please stay tuned to BQ Prime.